just like
Go.
awkward silence.
Yeah. Welcome to
Dude,
another exciting
yes.
episode.
So many people watch this. It's amazing. It's crazy the amount of viewers we get. Jesus Christ. I do have a question before we start. I know you always bring topics and I am awful at it. But
Mhm.
you ever see somebody and they remind you of like a fatter like movie character?
Yes.
Okay. I seen a dude today and he looked like a fatter version of Sling Blade. I mean, even his bottom jaw when he was like driving the forklift was like
I
kind of
wasn't driving
jutted.
a forklift.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about me.
No, 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 no. And I was like sitting there looking at him, watching him drive by, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it looks like a fatter version of Sling Blade. But anyway, I didn't know if that was a thing or if that's just my idiotic mind at work.
Yeah, and I feel like that just happened to me recently, like where I saw somebody and I was like, I want to tell them they look like somebody, but I'd have to say like plus 60 pounds.
Mm.
So I was like, nah.
Do you realize if you put two of these people together, of this person together, it would make you? You're two of those persons
You look like the Olsen twins, like both of
together.
them.
Was that
You
was
look
that
like the Olsen twins ate
the Olsen
the
twins?
Olsen twins.
2 servings because they're so
Yeah.
freaking skinny. Dude, that reminds me of that Tom Segura bit in a stand-up where he's like, "I did the fattest thing that you could do," and then he's like, "Oh, wait, no, I think the fattest thing you could do was seeing another fat person be like, I bet that guy tastes good." And he just talks about goes into a restaurant and has a croissant, walks out of there, goes up the street, sees another bakery, and he's like, "I have to try their croissant as well
Yeah.
to see if it's better," and he eats, and he's like, "Nope, that wasn't any better than the last one I ate."
Oh, so glad I never had that problem. I've been fat, but not like a food addict.
It is there a certain type of food though? Like if you go to a cookout or something, is there a certain type of food that like you have problem controlling yourself with?
Nope.
Really?
Is beer a food?
No, you fucking homo. It's not a
Well,
food.
then there you go. Not really, no.
Oh wow. Okay. That's kind of fucked up, but all right.
What's yours?
I'm gonna say this, and your jokes are immediately going to come in, but that's fine.
I won't.
I
Scared.
like if somebody's got some good like cheddar brats or beer brats or
Yeah, I
something.
bet you do. No,
See, dude, and see, it's gonna.
you just
I'm just
suck 'em
shoving big
down.
sausages in my mouth one after the other. Um, and
Hot.
then if my wife makes her macaroni and cheese along with it, I am gonna be fucking sick by the time it's over with.
Making macaroni and cheese noises.
You ever seen that video where that like this lady's just stirring some kind of pasta in a pot on the stove, or maybe she's making it, but she's got a spoon in there and it's making that squishing noise, and her son comes up and he's like, "Huh, that's what sex sounds like." And his mom was because it's the noisiest, like moist sound and movement. It's like, and he's like, "Huh, that's what sex sounds like." Yeah, she did not find that fucking cool at all. So, what topics did you bring tonight, Mr. Timmons?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Shit. I thought when you asked me, I thought you had some shit in the chamber.
I did think about something.
Okay.
I don't know. I saw something that about how people are receiving Social Security and having their Social Security like docked to go to pay for their student loans that they still have, and that
How fucking old? Like,
I
how
don't
do
know.
they have
Well, I mean,
student loans 40-something years later?
Well, no, people they'll get loans when they're adults too, or they'll co-sign for their kids or something.
Oh,
So that's what I'm
because I'm like,
thinking.
damn, dude,
Yeah,
that's fucking harsh.
but it got me thinking like that's That's coming out of our checks. It's coming out of our checks. It's not going into a freaking mutual fund where it's getting 7% average a year. So it's not like gaining anything. It's just coming straight out of our pockets and going straight into their pockets. My question to you, do you think it's weird that I think you shouldn't be able to draw Social Security unless you're totally out of debt? Or
Well, I tell you what,
at least don't have stupid debt, like, because we're paying their debts for them. That's not what that's for.
from my experience, I have not seen very many people of age to get Social Security that have a high amount of debt. I think that number's pretty low. Now, if the economy keeps going the way it is, and people are having to go out of their way in order to like pay for the shit that they need, not shit that they want, shit for that they need. I can see people. I mean, have you heard the number on the amount of credit card debt in this country right now?
Yeah.
Jesus freaking Christ, man. Uh, Here's my thing, I guess. This is the way I look at it. Kids are taught, when you go to school now, they're not teaching you to try to live as debt free as possible.
No,
Fuck no, they're
nobody
not
does.
teaching you that crap. They're teaching you to be indebted. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I mean, in the coming generations, if there's any Social Security left, guess there's going to be a whole shitload of people not getting their full check because of loans or student debt. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And like car debt is like $1 trillion just in the United States. That's insane.
The credit card though, that shit is.
I think car debt is more than credit, but yeah, credit card debt, you don't have any real equity. Usually spent on shit.
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. So from Yahoo Finance, Social Security garnishments for federal student loan defaults are paused until July 2026, when the government can withhold up to 15% of monthly benefits with a $750 minimum protection floor from an estimated 452,000 recipients, many of whom are retirees living on fixed incomes. But that's crazy because unless like you said, unless it's like they paid for their kids to get a student loan or some shit, dude, that's bananas. That there's 452,000 people. I can't I can't believe that's all. I wonder what percentage of that is actual like co-signers or they've literally just never paid their student loan. But I mean, I don't know. It just seems like that number of people who can get Social Security, 452,000, because I don't think student loans was quite the thing uh 40, 50 freaking years ago.
Oh no, no, no.
So
You
that
could.
seems odd that that number's that high. You
No,
know
it
what I
doesn't.
mean?
It doesn't to me because I think a lot of people get student loans and go back to school for either their first degree when they're in their 30s, 40s, whatever. A lot of people get addicted to that shit too. They'll get a master's in this and a master's in that, and they'll just get loans. It blows my mind.
But no masturbators. So that's
Um,
a joke. Um that is, I guess, again, I don't know how you would. I just feel like if somebody made a law that said, "Hey, if you're in debt, if you have debt to pay off, you just can't get Social Security or whatever," and it's like, where do they draw where's what number do they draw a line as? Like, if it's over this amount, well, you'll get less of your social security check or whatever. I don't know, because when you give the government the ability to make a law like that, they'll just fucking it'll go on for a very short time, and a group of people will get upset, and they'll be like, "All right, well, we'll have some loopholes and some carve outs in this," and it just all goes to shit.
Okay, get rid of Social Security then. Make it optional if it's such a good fucking thing.
I
If you
wholeheartedly
if
agree.
you took, I'm sure people have done it and actually done the calculations. But if you took Social Security out and put that into a retirement fund or something for a person's whole working career, like it would be tens of millions of dollars. Yet we're not getting back tens of millions of dollars when we start drawing.
No, and I know there are a couple few counties in Texas. So let's say you go to work for like some county job in whatever county in Texas. They don't put your money in Social Security. They put it into an investment plan, and if you retire from there, your monthly income will be about triple of what you would get with Social Security.
Oh yeah.
And they're not losing money. That investment doesn't lose money. It's just um well, to that point, not to that point, but really, I never knew that. Say you lived your life and you got to 65 or whatever, and you decided, well, I'm going to go live in France now. I thought, well, that's it. No, they still will drop your Social Security money into
Hmm.
your account, even if you live in another country after you retire. And I was like, oh, I did not know that. I thought if you left the US, that was the end of it. Apparently not. You will still get your check every month.
Hmm.
Yeah, I wish. I don't know, man. I feel like 401ks are a horrible idea too.
Oh yeah.
It's just you're like, here's my money, and you invest it for me. And I get it. Not everybody's an investment, like guru. But you like 2008, my father-in-law lost like in one day. His shit dropped $75,000. He wouldn't, and he's like, I'll never get that back. But because of that crash, stock market crash, 75 grand, bam. And no shit, dude, as I'm
No, it's not
watching,
gone. Why are you, that's not true. The value of what it was
right,
invested
but
in
he
went
was
down.
never going to get that value back. That
Sure, he did.
$75,000 did not ever, he kept working all the way up to 2024. That 75 grand was not there in his total amount.
What? I don't even know what you mean by that. That doesn't make any sense. You have one amount in your 401k.
Because
It's
I
the total
guess they
amount.
had it in stocks or whatever
Yeah,
his investment fund was in.
yeah, and the value of the stock went down.
Right.
What did it do
Well,
what's it done over the last 18 years? He just fucking did that. So he got it back plus some.
according to him, he did not get it back.
Okay, well, that doesn't, unless he took it out. I don't know.
And he didn't. He kept going. um,
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying, like, people have told me that so many times. I'm like, that make sense to me. That doesn't make sense. If the value of your 401k drops, it means the value of what your money is invested in has gone down. That's it. It can and it'll go back up
you hope.
historically. Now, will you lose capital gains? Sure. Will you lose out on maybe some dividends here and there? Yeah, sure. But you don't lose money unless you take it out. That's the only way you can lose money in an investment.
So I'm trying to see here. I've just pulled up an article. I'm sure this is going
Unless
to
the
be
company goes, belly up. There's another way, but
right. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, depending on who they invest in, if that company went belly up, you're not recouping that money. And a lot of companies either took a big shit or crashed because of that. And I think that's how um he's how he lost it, because whatever he was retired in, which I think, because you're allowed to say, I want very low risk, medium risk, or high risk. And I think towards the end he was like, let's get the money in, and then boom. But anything, I don't know, man. Anything where I willingly give my money to someone else and just say, okay, try to make me as much money as it makes me uncomfortable.
Well, what do
Not
you?
again, not that I'm an investment guru, but it makes me uncomfortable.
Well, that's what I'm confused because you say you give the money to in your 401k and other people invest it.
Mhm.
So you have a managed fund, or
I'm
do
just
you?
saying, if I'm going to invest per
Mhm.
se, I will do the research myself and I will buy the stocks myself. I will have
Okay,
total control as prices go up and down, or Bitcoin,
but you can do
whatever.
that in your 401k. Like you
You
buy your own stock and stuff. Like you put the money where you
you can
want it.
put it in a particular stock.
Mhm. Oh, particular stock?
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Like down to a T. You might say, I want to invest in like energy or certain types of stocks, but I'd rather have it down to a T.
Oh, really? Not me.
That's just me. If I'm going to do it, yeah, then I want uh I don't know. I just feel like I guess my problem is that the government's like, "Hey, you can do the social security thing," and then the 401ks come along, and they're like, "Well, you should totally invest in the stock market." And then and then they don't give you any. I mean, you do have other choices, but they just kind of went, "There you go. That's what we'd like for you to do." And they try to convince everybody to do that. And it's just like, yeah, but you guys aren't fixing the problem with social security. You're just giving another so let's see. Now I don't know that much. This is from 2022. The US stock market route that has put US equities in a bear market isn't just reducing the net worth of billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, is also taking a toll on Americans' retirement savings, wiping out trillions of dollars in value. And I guess that's where I'm coming in. You lost all the value.
Yeah, but it's just like the value of your house can go down and go back up. It's you're not taking your money, you're not selling your house when the value goes down and buying again when it goes back up.
No, I it's just I don't know. The whole thing's rigged. Again, unless you take like real control of your assets, you're taking a risk. You're taking a risk if you do it yourself.
You're
But if you're
taking a
saying
risk,
put it
yeah.
into this, huh?
I'm just saying you take a risk every day
Yeah,
doing everything. So,
right. Well, I'm talking. If you're trying to save for, if you're trying to look for your retirement and have something there, I feel like the one thing, because everybody and their brother's going to come out and go, I got the perfect retirement investment, thing for you, and you're like, that's cool. In 30 years, I might have $2 million. The thing that sucks, and you can't take it into account. You yourself cannot control it, but you get a decent nest egg, and by the time you retire, the dollar is worth so little all that money you thought you're going to have, you're like, dude, I'm going to live comfortable. Now you're not. That's the other part that sucks too. They've devalued the currency so bad. Even if you have several $100,000 when you go to retire, it ain't worth that. It's not when you by the time you retire, if inflation's gone up and devaluation is kept occurring, the money that you thought you were going to live comfortably on is no longer comfortable living money. Now, that's not that person's fault. They were doing what they thought was right. But you can't control the other side the way the idiots spend the money. and devalue the currency. That's the main problem.
But it is that person's fault. They didn't save enough. Like you're not connected enough to know that inflation goes up, the dollar is going to be worth less. You can't go, well, I could live on 100 grand a year now, 50 grand, whatever. So that's what I'll need for 30 years. I'll need this, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, that's not going to be that much money in the future. I'll just put a little bit more in. If you really give a shit. If you really give a shit about your retirement, you're going to figure it out. But I just have a feeling most people don't care. They don't think about it until it's like, I don't know how many people I know that are in their like late 50s and like, yeah, I need to sit down and put pencil to paper and really see what I need to retire. I'm like, nobody. That's another thing people don't teach is that kind of stuff. Well, people do, but people don't want to listen. Is that you need to get started as early as you can. The more money you can put in when you're young, the better off you are, because the time and the compound interest is really what matters.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, yes, you have to take into account. You have to try to figure out how
It's
much
your
you think you're.
retirement. Like nobody else should have to. Nobody else should have to do anything for you.
No, certainly not. But my government should also not spend me, because that's the
I
other thing,
agree.
right? The way they're spending right now, you're like, you would generally think, yes, people should just save more money. That's cool, except for when you're living in 15% maybe inflation, it's getting harder to save. So you either just sit there and go, I'm not going to own shit to get to that amount of money,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I don't
I'm
know,
not.
some group of assholes, maybe they just need to stop running the fucking, because you never, I mean, no one would have, most, again, because of piss poor information out there, when they signed the CARES Act for the COVID relief fund, the economists, because
Care
most people don't
Bears.
have
The Care Bears Act.
yeah, the Care Bears Act, and it was the stinky, smelly, and shitty Care Bears. But most of the economists were out there and they were like, it's cool because inflation's transitory and this isn't going to do anything. And then all the people that the investors, the people like you and I who might invest our money are listening to these economists and you're like, oh, okay, cool. I guess they figured it out. And then a few years later, inflation hits and everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? And again, I am not an economics major. I just know that if you print $6
I am.
trillion, shit's going to go bad, right? That right there should have been common sense. And a whole lot of people, because they were hurting, because they couldn't work or whatever, got tricked into thinking, well, this is the only solution. And it's like, motherfucker, no, it's not.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, Care Bears are awesome. And second of all, yes, I
I guess
agree
if you have
with
a
you.
DVD player, they're all cool.
I have all the DVDs. Thank you. Side note, one of Dave Chappelle's best jokes, he was talking about the Care Bears, and he was like, they would get mad and they would do the Care Bear stare and they would shoot love out of their chest. And he says, I've never shot love out of my chest. I've shot love onto someone's chest. But yes, the government fucks everything up.
Yeah.
They're printing money, they take our taxes and do God knows what with it. But we know this.
Well,
Yes, you can
you and
vote.
I know this.
I think a lot of well, I mean, I think a lot of people know the government takes a lot of money from their paycheck if they work. So if you look at that and you say, well, until that changes, because I'm going to have to. And I'm not one of these people that like look around and say, what's everybody's problem? Because I'm not a youngin in this economy, but I did, I kind of relate with the boomers a little bit with my cheap ass house, but that I bought 13 years ago, and it's like over doubled in value, which is insane. But like, yeah, I don't for the most part, I don't feel sorry for people who've had 40 years to save. And especially, I mean, like for me personally, I know I can like see the compounding take place. So I know it's real. I know it works. I'm a single guy, you know, whatever. Don't do anything that I really fucking for fun. So it's like, my daughter's college account, I felt like I wasn't putting shit in there. But for 10 years, it made a pretty good fucking return. So, you know, we're told our whole lives like put it away and leave it there and reinvest anything you make, and I did that. Wasn't easy, but what is?
Yeah,
Spending all your money is pretty easy. Being
that's
broke
very
sucks.
it's it's another one of those things too where like the system isn't even created for you to save. I mean, I can remember
Right.
being a kid where you'd get at least 3% on a savings account. And now it's like, what is it, a tenth of a percent if you're lucky?
If you go to a brick and mortar, if you get online, you can get 3%,
And yeah, okay. And it's just even the system's not set
which still sucks, but
to say right. But 3% is better than you don't get that out of Social Security.
yeah.
You don't get zero. I don't know. That whole system is so and again, the brainwashing of the masses saying that you'll have money there when you retire. Now, latest figures that I heard them it was a few weeks ago, that they're saying that, like Social Security run out at 2030 something. I think it was 2037 or some stuff like that. I don't remember. The guy's like, no, it won't run out. You'll only get 80%
Right.
of what you would normally get. But yeah, I still think that if we would just teach people to say, well, and that's the thing, right? If you go work for somebody, you have no choice. They're taking that money out of your check regardless. So you would have to make that a voluntary thing. And there's no way they're going to do it, because if they stop getting all that money into Social Security, all the boomers that do vote suddenly aren't voting for them because, you know, whatever reason, Social Security is running out at a faster rate. They're freaking out, of course, and they're going to vote for somebody else who promises to like tax people more
Hmm.
to recoup the money. So no politician is going to seriously propose of saying we should make this voluntary. If you don't want to
Oh
put
no,
in, you don't have to. No
no,
one's going to
because
do that.
who would choose to take their money when they're 60? Like, even if the government came and said, okay, you have two choices: one, pay Social Security, get a check when you're in your, whatever, like normal,
65, 67.
yeah, or you have to take that money and invest it, and you can't take it out until you're 62. Like, it would be hard to sell the old way. So yeah, nobody would pay into it. Nobody would do that. They're like, yeah, I want to take my money and it'll be mine.
Yeah,
I'll invest it in stuff that I want to invest it in. But like, you can't take it out no matter what.
right.
Nothing. No loans, no hardship, nothing.
I um
Because if the third choice was you can take that money and just put it on your paycheck, that's definitely not, everybody would do that.
right. And there would be a very select portion that would just take that money and figure out how to throw it at
Nobody
something.
would do like, yeah,
There would
90%
be
would.
there would be a small percentage of people that would still go out and put it into something that's going to get a return, but most people would not. There'll
Right.
be a select small percentage that are like, "Oh shit."
Yeah. And then you would have people retiring broke or working until they die
Yeah. And the
because of
people
lack
that
of self responsibility.
but the people that did, if they knew what they're doing, those people will retire early.
For sure.
And there's, again, I am not one of those people that like Bitcoin. I'm still pissed off at myself. I heard about Bitcoin when it was like a couple dollars a coin,
Mhm.
and you could have bought $20 worth, held on to it, and at one point had $1.5 million. Well,
Yeah.
$3 million.
Yeah.
Now, when it first came out, I'm like, I don't understand this whole thing. So I did not buy in when it was
I didn't
cheap.
either.
And I was like, and I kept watching it go up and up and up. And I'm like, holy shit. Um, that was a mistake because I heard about it because there was a lot of people that didn't hear it, didn't really know about it till it got, it just really spiked. And especially when it got, I would almost bet you that the people that created it didn't even expect it to hit at one time $130,000 in
Yeah.
Bitcoin. But yeah, I just know I'm like, damn, I could have bought $20 worth. But back then, when I heard about it, there were no exchanges. There were no hard wallets. You had to like have it saved on a thumb drive. God forbid you lose a thumb drive or you lose all that money. It's way easier now to trade. But back then when it started, holy smokes, you had to like I mean, you might as well put it in the safe deposit box and just never lose the thumb drive to prove that
Mhm.
you owned the actual Bitcoin. Um, Somebody was telling me that somebody bought a lot, like when it was cheaper, they bought thousands of dollars worth of Bitcoin, had it on a thumb drive, and it accidentally got thrown away. So they
Yeah.
went out and were scouring the landfill,
Mhm.
praying they could. That's all gone, and no one else can buy it because those Bitcoins are gone and they were owned by somebody else, unless he sold them.
Yep.
That's just so many Bitcoins that are just not available for anybody else. It's just I would probably have jumped off a fucking building.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to me, where you're like, you had 20 or $30 million vanish into thin air. Holy shit. Instant like, I have a couple $100. I guess I can go buy a gun. They're like, what do you need that for? Like, to
Yeah.
put myself out of my misery. That's why I need it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a giant fucking turd. But no, I don't know. It's people have been very well programmed. Their parents, their parents like taught them the same thing, and then the school taught them the same thing, and they all think everything's cool, everything's fine. Just do it this way, and you'll be fine and dandy when you retire. And then now they FAFO'd, if you say it that way. But
Yeah.
you know, it's listen, it's human instinct. If your parents are when you're a kid, if they're not like abusive physically or mentally, and they're just saying, "Hey, this is what we did, and look at this, and this is what you do when you get out." Generally you're going to trust your parents, and then if you silly mindedly just like go along with what the school told you, you're just going to think that you're. I'm not. I'm not making excuses for those people, but I do understand because I've seen it happen to millions and millions of Americans. It's just a thing, right?
What do you mean? They do the right thing, like, they put money into their 401k, and then when they
Or
retire, they
just
have nothing?
it's just like you'll have social security when you get out of school and you do this
Mhm.
and live in shitloads of debt. That's the American dream.
Yeah.
Go out and buy a house, buy this, buy that. And they just think, well, I watched my parents do it.
Yeah. No, you
And
watch everybody do it.
but I can remember my parents when my dad was working before he got sick. Um he was a plant manager, or he's a production manager at a company here in Owensville. And the money he was making, which is probably, I don't know, the money he was making then, if he and I made the same amount right now, the money he was making then was worth way more money than the money I'm making now. Like my dollars go way less far than his did. And it's just it's kind of crazy to try to think about it because most people think of a dollar as a dollar and it's worth that dollar, not that it's worth like 8 cents, right? People look at a dollar and it says $1, it's worth $1. The thought process of, oh Jesus, like my 2026 dollar was is worth 8 cents and 1988 dollar was worth like maybe 60 something cents. Could be 8 times. And I don't think people I think that fucks up people's heads when they think about it like that. You know what I mean? Trying to
Yeah.
comprehend that, like, but it's a dollar. It's like, yes, and it's ones and zeros on a screen. Except for a printing press, your account has no literal money in it. It's just ones and zeros on a screen. And sometimes they transfer from this screen to that screen. That's literally all it is. I think that really messes with people's heads. People have trouble wrapping their minds around the fact. I think they're like, well, yeah, everything's digital. Like, no, I don't think you comprehend the depth of this, that somebody can create something out of thin air and then shift it on the computer screen. And you think you literally have money that's worth, if it's $10,000, you think you have 10,000. You don't have $10,000 in true value. You have way less. You might have $5,000 in true value, but I don't know. It's just when you sit and you think about it and you're just like, wow, the system is really rigged very well for them.
For them. Who's them?
The people who own the banks and the people at the Federal Reserve
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the elitists who try to tell us how to live our lives. But I let me ask you this, and I want your well thought out opinion on this. I've had conversation with someone at work, and they're like, "Well, it's a group of us. It's a group of people over here in our institutions that are like the biggest and the baddest, and they know how to take power and money away from other people and it gets hoarded over here. So we're actually better off because they're doing it instead of being in some third world shithole." And he's like, but what happens if all those people went to a different country and did the same thing? He's like, so aren't we better off because we have these type of people? And I'm like, I get what he's saying, but I mean, what's your opinion on some shit like that?
I get what he's saying. I've thought about that too. Like, do we have it good because we are greedy capitalist pigs that go and start wars? And you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
is going to the Middle East and doing all that shit
So, I
that
mean,
help us? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm not
I
saying
mean,
it's right. I'm just saying,
okay. Because he's like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a pessimistic piece of crap. I probably am. But he's like, if somebody really did something, this could all like we might not have all this wealth anymore. And I go, I'm tired of this system for the most part. I am.
yeah,
I'm done with the stupidity. I'm done with idiots making decisions for me and spending money in ways I don't like, and I'm just done with it. And it's like if those people lost their power, I would celebrate. My life might get harder because I might not have as much money and shit, but
yeah. But how many things do you buy that you don't need? How many things that you buy you could kind of like do without or make yourself? You know what I mean? You could do a lot of things yourself, but we choose. I mean, I could too. I'm just not just you, but like just
right, no. Yeah.
there's this country used to be in the world was very self-reliant. You didn't go out and buy a chair. You made a chair. You didn't go out and, you know, buy fucking groceries. You fucking grew your own shit or you bartered with a neighbor. Now, obviously not everybody's a farmer and shit like that, but it was the ease and convenience of just going out and buying something, and the system saw that and was like, oh well, people aren't, staying at home making their own stuff. Let's put stuff out there for them to buy, give them jobs to keep them making money, making us money, more importantly, and we can sell more shit. And that's where it really became a consumer economy. And this was like back in the 1800s.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, people can look at their lives and go, what do I do? I go to work and I can't afford to do anything, you know, that most people consider, fun. They
right.
go out to eat or go to the bars. They can't go on vacations because it's too expensive. Find something that you enjoy that doesn't cost money or a lot of money. Like there's so many things out there, but I, I don't know. People are very keep up with the
Yes.
Jonesy and go, well, they went on a vacation to Italy. We're going to go to fucking Greece and France and Switzerland and Hong Kong. And, it's like you just got to fucking one up everybody. And money is it doesn't have to be a status symbol. Like, make yourself happy. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, if I didn't have like a camera and my cameras and my lenses and stuff to just get me out of the house and go to new places and stuff, dude, I don't know what the hell I'd do at home. I would just sit here like a knot on a log and just be bored to tears, right? Because I mean, yeah, you can find things to do in your house that
Well, that's fine.
you
Can't like,
enjoy,
but
you know,
you're not spending a shitload of money all the time. I mean, it's
no,
very few time investment, and you're good.
and
For
that's
a
the
long
type of thing,
time.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I did pick one of the most expensive hobbies to get into. I'm not gonna lie, because there are certain lenses and stuff that I want, and I'm trying, but I don't spend my money that I make at work generally. I have a couple times, but generally I don't spend the money that I make at work to get new stuff. I take the money that I've made from photography and I roll it back into that. Instead of just keeping it all for myself, I'm like, oh, oh shit, I can upgrade this camera, or I can finally get this lens, or I can finally get this, finally get that. That's what I do with it.
Well, yeah, you're also making money doing it. Like, but it's
Yeah,
so that's a plus.
but there's things
But
that yes, there's things that you can do that you can make with your hands. And I guess the thing is marketing it. If you are good at selling things and you can make, dude, they sold pet rocks at one
I mean,
point,
you don't
and
even
people,
need to make stuff to fucking sell. Just make it for yourself.
but yeah, but I'm just saying, if you can get a side hustle from it too, if you happen to produce something that people are like, holy shit, that's really cool. The act that you took to find something you found fulfilling, but then if you're lucky enough, other people find fulfilling. It might be to the point where you're like, shit, I don't even have to go to that shithole anymore. I can
Yeah,
do this now and turn a hobby into. So then you get the
yeah.
luxury of doing something you love and I'm just
Doing it
saying,
on your own time.
yeah, and then it, taking the time to find a hobby, not necessarily to have a side hustle, but if you find something that you love and you become fortunate enough to turn that into your job, now you're just winning extra. But yeah, just finding something to not just sit at the TV and get programmed all day,
Yeah,
and just taking that first step could turn into something completely different. We've heard all
yeah,
the stories, right?
yeah, for
It's
sure.
one of those things.
Yeah, but I don't know. People get trapped in these car loans and fucking credit cards and student loans and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. If I graduated high school this year, college would probably like a regular college would not be something I would probably be interested in if I knew what I know now. I'd go to a tech school,
Trade
something
school,
like
something
that.
like
Yeah, trade school, something like that.
that. But that's the thing, dude. Like you, I assume you've always, and I don't mean this in a negative way, of course. You just seem like you've always had, I don't know whether how else to put it, but a dissenting mind. You didn't just get fed information, went, yep. and
Oh,
went on.
yeah.
That's what I mean. You had a mind that you're like, well, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't exercise that. That's the problem.
Sure.
Like, right? The guidance counselor and your teachers in school are saying, these are your best ways to make boatloads of money and not have to
Yeah.
get your hands dirty and stuff. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, nailed it. And by the time they graduate, all of a sudden that field is flooded with people and now they can't find a job in that field. And they're like, well, son
Or
of a
you
bitch.
or you graduate in 2009, which was the greatest time to try to find a job.
1991 was also awesome. Dude, I just sit and think about it. I had a buddy of mine that went to school for like computer programming, and he actually runs the servers for the National Weather Service. They have two servers, one in Springfield, one in Maryland somewhere. And he gets a contract every year to upkeep that. And he just went to Vaderot or something and got a degree and started and just kept up on it. He's had other jobs and he's finally like, I'm just going to bid on this job. And he hires a group of people and yeah, he just runs the National Weather site or National Weather Services websites and make sure there's no attacks. It stays up and running, does the maintenance on it. And I'm like, and I hadn't talked to him in years and we like met for breakfast one morning and I was like, what are you doing now? And he rattles that off. I'm like, Jesus freaking Christ, dude. I'm making transformers. Ugh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was not mentally. If I would have tried to have gone to school after I got out of high school, I would have failed epically. Mentally, I was not prepared for college. I was just some dumbass kid. I'm a dumbass adult now, but when I got out of high school, I was a dumbass kid. Now, what did you go to college for?
Construction management. Yeah.
Hey, my wife's got a cousin that went to school. What is it? Hotel management.
Oh, yeah.
Now he sells insurance.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Hardly anybody does what they actually get their degree for.
Which is also bananas.
Yeah.
So did you let's try to pep this up a little. This has been so dark the whole time. Not really.
Now we're
but,
almost done. Hopefully.
Did you happen to think of a good joke?
I did. I'm gonna have to censor it though.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wanna keep my job.
Oh yes, that pesky job that we all have to go.
Ew. See, there's another thing.
I just shit my pants.
We could be gross. Me too.
I never stand up quick enough to like rip it right into the mic, so I'm not as good as you are, Eric.
No, of course not. So do you know why the Pope wears that stupid hat?
Why does the Pope wear that stupid hat?
Because nobody's ever yelled, "Hey, take off that stupid hat, you." Then
Okay,
he'd be
that's
like,
pretty good.
"Aw,
Oh, I don't want
Right.
to be that,
I hate this hat."
even though
man."
I secretly am.
Yeah, he's like, even though
Even
the
though I diddle
Vatican,
kids.
the Vatican is its own city for a reason, or its own country for a reason.
Okay, we're
They
going
have their own
dark.
laws.
We're going dark again for a second.
Yeah,
I
age of
know.
consent doesn't exist.
I know a guy. He was Catholic. Went to mass every Sunday, and he told me he's like I had to quit going, and I was like, why? He's like, dude, they were literally asking the congregation for donations for defense funds for these priests. And he's like, nope, I'm fucking out, dude. No way. And
Yeah,
he's like, we left the church, never went back. And I was like, they said that out loud? He's like, yes. So way to ruin a perfectly good joke. I don't have a joke. I just have a stupid thought. I already told you what it was. It's not that good though. I've sat and reviewed it in my head. It's like, that's really not that good.
yeah, I don't even remember it. So
Yeah, I'll say it, but it's dumb. Yours is
Yeah.
way better. I just said like in 2000 during the presidential election, I got confused because I thought there were a bunch of male emo people committing unaliving themselves, and it was just a bunch of hanging chads. But that was at the ballot box.
You see, that's where I kind of thought, like, I don't think of an emo kid when I think of the word Chad. I think a Chad is somebody who fucks your wife. So I got excited because I heard they were hanging Chads, and finally got revenge. That guy who fucked my ex-wife.
Dude, you sound like you're telling us a personal story the way you said it. Like it literally happened to you, and you're like, fucking Chad.
Yeah, that's not even a real thing. I just know a guy named Chad who fucked my wife.
So yeah, again, not a good joke. When I first constructed it, I'm like, it popped into my head and like, that's not bad. And it's not good. It's not good.
Fine.
No, it sucked. That was a horrible freak. I think I've told the other one too, but that one, the one about the elections in China, I don't know if I've mentioned that one or not.
Maybe.
I just said I don't. I said it in a gas station one time to the gal behind the counter, and it took her like 5 seconds before it finally kicked in. But I was telling somebody one day, I go, I don't understand why there's so many Chinese people. I was like, their government's kind of the same of ours. They have erections like every 2 and 4 years. And she was like, sat there and you could see her like thinking about it. And then it kicked in. Somebody behind me laughed immediately. It took her. She's like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, it's a valid question. It's a stupid joke, but it's a valid question.
No, it's not a valid question. How often do you really believe they only have erections every 2 to 4 years? It's not valid at all.
The whole Chinese population has a chip in them, and the government's like, oh, here's your erection for 2 years. You better enjoy it. Can you imagine being a guy so ugly that you can't get laid?
I don't have to imagine it. I don't have to imagine it.
Yeah, me neither.
It's my reality.
But then they hit the chip, and he gets his boner, and he's like,
he just jacks off.
Yeah, he's just like, I just got to rub this one out, like champagne of champions.
Yeah,
dude, never mind. I'm not going to go too far down that road. I was just going to say, imagine 2 years, no load going out. Do you imagine the amount of pressure you would build up? Like if you're raw dog it and you just cream pie somebody, you're going to literally blow them off of you.
I think it'd look like fucking LeBron before a game. It would just come out as just
dust. I was going to say, look, I thought you were going to say like those guys that got the elephantiasis where they can literally like weave a basket on their nutsack.
Yeah. The what is that called? Testicular.
No, it's well, they call it elephantiasis.
Yeah, there's different things that you can actually do that'll cause a bunch of swelling.
Dude, that's a bunch of swelling, dude. If you're literally having to like sit with your legs like way out here and you can weave a basket on your nutsack.
God, I can't remember what it was called because they on that Opie and Anthony, they were talking about a guy who his balls weighed like 80 pounds or some shit. Maybe not that big, but it was a lot. And they actually had a doctor that would call him into the show, and he said what it was. I can't remember what it was though. Oh, scrotal lymphedema. That's what it was called. Scrotal lymphedema or something like that. Scrotal lymphedema.
Is it scrotal edema or edema?
Maybe.
Let's see. I'm looking it up.
I thought they called it lymphedema or something like that.
Lymphedema.
Lymptic.
I'll look it up. Let's see what it is. Oh yeah, lymphedema.
Lymphedema. Scrotal lymphedema.
I love how it has to tell me what the scrotum is when I look up when the first result hits. Holy. It says scrotal lymphedema causes your scrotum to thicken and grow to the size of a grapefruit.
Yummy.
Can you imagine going in for a Brazilian and you drop your drawers and you're like, Jesus Christ, this
Grapefruit
one's gonna
in
be
there.
pricier because we're gonna have to put a lot more shit on that thing, get all the hair off. Jesus Christ, that's freaking insane, dude. Sorry. My bad. They're like, bro. Or like you go
Mhm.
on a date with a gal and you have that, and then like the first time you drop your drawer, she's like, you're like,
Ew.
she thinks the load's gonna be like a whole gallon when it comes out. It's just squirt, 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 squirt. And she's just like taking it like a champ. Think it's gonna stop at some point. She comes out, she looks like the Slimer from Ghostbusters. She's like, make it stop.
Wow.
That's really jacked up to think about, dude.
A little bit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I don't know why.
God damn. What?
Okay. Whew. I gotta get myself under control here. Oh man. Kind of reminds you of like really useless world records, like longest measured like ejaculation. Like somebody literally has to get out a tape measure and be like, go ahead
Yeah.
and mark it. And like 22 feet. Jesus Christ, dude.
It's got rules.
It's not a penis, it's a dart gun. What the fuck? Okay, that was a little fucked up. Oh, goddamn.
It's the name of the game. It's all hey, it's always something.
Even if it's coming out of your cack, it's always something.
It's always something.
I like how you turned into Joe Pesci when you did that. It's always something. Oh man. I was telling somebody the other day that I need to sit down and go back and watch all the Lethal Weapon movies.
Mm.
I really liked those movies back in the day, but I also don't have a DVD player. So.
Yeah. You just want to watch Mel Gibson in those jeans.
Nope.
But
No. What was that? The second one with like the hot German gal or South African gal? Was that 2?
I think she was Romanian or Chinese.
Oh, what? No, she wasn't Chinese.
I have no idea. I don't remember any of those movies.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn, dude. Joe Pesci made those last, especially 2 and 3. Okay.
I like the one with Nicolas Cage in it. And the one with the girl who played Punky Brewster, that was a good one.
Jesus Christ. I thought you were talking about another movie. I got to stop listening to you, fucker.
Yeah.
You come up with shit, and I think you're serious for a second. And then you finally break. I'm like, God damn it! This is where age like really fucks with you.
Yes.
That let me tell you something.
Let me tell you something, boy. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Inside joke for people who don't understand that. Why we're laughing, but it's really when you work with people and like half the freaking crew is half your age, and you start talking about something, and half of like 3/4 in the room are like, "Fuck you talking about?" Like, Jesus Christ, I'm at this point in my life where I'm bringing up references to shit that they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I know.
That shit is infuriating.
I know. Because you're like, that wasn't that long ago. And then you think, oh, that it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That was before this person was born.
Pretty soon, next time I ejaculate, dust is just going to come out.
Yep.
Like one big shot of talcum powder, and somebody's going to be like, So, yeah, that shit, that it really, like, I was telling somebody about that Orbit gum commercial where the gal comes in. She's like, "Who you calling a cootie queen? You lint liquor." One of my favorite commercials.
Mm.
And they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "Okay." I pulled it up. They actually got it. They're like, "That is a pretty clever commercial." I'm like, "I know." Our commercials were way better than the commercials that are out now.
Yeah.
Like Super
Remember
Bowl
the
commercials used to be fun.
Kmart commercial where they would ship your pants?
Was that Kmart or Target?
I don't remember, but I think it was
Yes,
Kmart.
I shipped my pants.
I shipped my pants today.
Dude, classic.
Yeah.
I still can't convince somebody with a crepe shop to get a shirt made for themselves when they're working there. It says, "I'm the crepist."
Yeah.
Still won't do it. Still doubts the marketing strength of that shirt. I also gave him your idea and didn't seem to like really grab him to
What
where
was
he's like,
that?
I like being craped in the mouth.
Yeah.
Or I got craped in the mouth, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, I told him, I was like, you don't understand the amount of people that would just come to your shop just to buy that shirt. They wouldn't even buy a crepe. They just buy the shirt.
Yeah.
Hands down. Be like, I want that shirt. I must have that shirt. I also like being craped in the mouth.
Yes.
People are like, oh, Jesus
Mm.
Christ.
Well, we're at an hour.
Yeah.
It's
That
always
is true.
something.
Ha! All right. So, hour's up. I got to make my money.
Yeah.
I want to retire at 65.
I need to switch over to my OnlyFans now.
Okay, before we go, let me ask you a question. And it wouldn't matter where you work, but Jesus Christ, let's just imagine you work at a place kind of like we were. There's several hundred people that work there. Ever just like me, I walk the entire floor of that plant. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'll just walk by and I'll just go and I'll think to myself, wonder how many motherfuckers in here have an OnlyFans account that are, putting out like content
Yeah.
that you would definitely not want to see. Me
Oh,
add
there's
that last
nobody I would want to see.
I wouldn't pay for it. No.
No.
I
No, I've never thought about that. I
do.
will now.
You're like walking up the aisle. No. Maybe
No.
watch that one. Definitely not.
Yeah.
But as many women that have them. I did hear that several years ago. I don't think this first one. There was somebody there that did have one at one time.
Yeah.
And I asked the dude, I was like, he's like, she's not really that attractive. He's like, but apparently she's making some serious fucking money. Well, not like serious money, but she's making good money. And I was like, is this just because someone will get in front of a camera and take their clothes off and people are just like
Yes.
throwing money at them? Like, you realize that if you had good enough game and you went out and hung out at a different place and met enough girls, that you could also get them to take off their clothes. And you would not have to have a monthly subscription for that.
Well, like I said before, ease and convenience.
You mean I don't have to have sex with another person? I can just sit here and watch this girl that I don't know and just rub one out?
Yeah.
Awesome. Dude, the amount of okay, let's say that you had this is going to sound negative towards you. It doesn't matter how I phrase this. Don't take you won't take offense. What the fuck am I even saying that for? Let's say you had the looks where you just be like, I can just stand in front of a webcam and have women throw men at me as I just stand there freaking naked. Like, would you do that? Like,
No.
you don't have to leave your house and go out and work. You could just literally just
No.
have webcams in your rooms and people.
No. No.
Because
No. I wouldn't.
these women that do this, like, there are some creepy fucking people out there who know how to track your IP address and find where you live And that kind of shit would be like, maybe you shouldn't put your coochie on camera. Maybe you should just shut the account down. And I've seen headlines where a guy will pay a couple grand and fly to where this person lives just to hug him and hang out with him for like an hour and then turn around and leave. And it's like, Jesus Christ, I thought my
Yeah.
social life sucked ass.
Yeah.
That's fucking terrible, bro.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah. And then they're like, the whole flight home, the stewardess is like, sir, could you please wait till you get home to rub one out? No one wants to see that. He's like, I just hugged so and so. And they're like, good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
There's a bathroom at the back of the plane, or you could be a civilized adult and not pull your winky out mid flight. We still have 2 hours till we touch down. You sick piece of shit.
And he's like, keep talking to me like that. It's helping. He's like, oh, call me a piece of shit again.
What was that Dave Chappelle thing where he's talking about the homeless guy jacking off on the bus?
Yeah.
And he's telling him what to do. You stick your finger in your butt.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, what? You squeeze your tits together. Oh, my God.
Okay.
You can't get AIDS from a homeless guy busting on your forehead. I don't know if it's true or not. I just had to,
Yeah.
I had to tell someone. All right, I'm ending this bitch.
Bye.
Bye.